In this lesson, we learn about 5 why analysis, which is one of the most popular root cause analysis technique. The 5 whys is a simple problem solving technique that helps user to get to the root of the problem quickly. It was made popular by Toyota Production System in the 1970s, but 5 why analysis is still very popular and very useful root cause analysis technique. So 5 whys technique is used to determine the root cause of the problem by repeatedly asking the question why. So you have a problem statement and you will ask why to that question, and whatever answer you get you will ask again why to that question, and the series goes on until you have asked 5 why questions. So we will see details of it while we will solve various problems, and during the study of the problems it will be more clear to you. It is a very simple and useful technique which will help you to solve problems. The technique was first developed in the 1930s by Mr. Taichi Ono, who was the engineer in the Toyota Industries, and then it became a worldwide technique, and it has been used by many companies as on today. And also you can use it in your personal problem solving tool. Use it in a personal problem solving tool, and you will get the answer very quickly, and also you will get the right answer. So there is nothing more theoretical into it. We'll solve some problems, and through solving the problems you will understand how the 5 whys techniques works, and how you can use this technique in your daily problem solving. So what is the benefits of 5 why analysis? It helps to quickly determine the root cause of the problem. That is number one. And second, it is easy to learn and apply. Anybody can learn it and ready to use, because it does not have very complicated theory or very complicated management tool, or do not need year of experience to use it. That's why the 5 whys technique has become so popular even today. So you will go on asking a series of whys, and the answer to the last why will be your root cause. So it may happen that in third or fourth why you will get the answer, and even asking a further why will get you nowhere. In that case you can stop at 3 or 4 why. So first we have a simple example where, suppose one day, it happens to everybody, you ran through the red light. And why it is? So this is our problem. Somebody has ran through the red light. Now why he ran through the red light? Because he is late for the work. He has to hurry, because if he reaches the office late, uh, he will be fined, or his attendance will not be marked, he will be marked absent. So why he is late for the work? Again, this why he is late for the work? Because he woke up late. Okay, then why he woke up late? Because the alarm clock broke. Okay, then why the alarm clock broke? Or you can phrase the question differently. Didn't check. Yes, why the alarm clock broke? Because did not check if it worked. In the last night, we have not checked it whether it is working or not. Why you have not checked it? Because forget to do it in the last night. So this is the reason of series of reason we ultimately uh, got to the root cause, and the root cause is he forgot to set his alarm clock. He need to set his alarm clock and he forgot to set it, right? So this is a very simple example. So it will just gives you an idea how the 5 whys technique works. We'll check another problem. What is the problem statement? One thing you should remember, that you should mark the problem statement very correctly, because if your problem statement is not correct, then you will not go to the right conclusion. So you should phrase the problem statement correctly. And in the second problem, we have a software company which produces software, and every time it found some bugs or something, it updates its version. And when the software is updated, it sends newsletter to its customer. And it is a periodic activity. Normally, it happens in every month or say every quarter, and there is a deadline within which the newsletter should go to the customer. But in one particular case, it happened that the newsletter has not been sent to the customer. Now we need to know that what is the root cause of this problem. So the first is what? So first we will ask question to the problem statement. The problem statement is we did not send the newsletter on time. So first question is why we did not send the newsletter on time, and the answer to it is updates were not ready until the deadline. So it is quite obvious, if the update is not ready, how we will send the newsletter. So next question comes, why the updates are not implemented or not ready on time? Because the developer are still working on few features. Okay, next question will be why the developer are still working on some new features. Because there is one new developer and he did not know the procedures. Okay, then why the new developer is unfamiliar with the procedures? Because he is not trained properly. So next obvious question comes, why he was not trained properly? Because the HR head, human resource heads, shared a guideline to reduce cost of the training. Oh, so see that how we reach to the root cause, and with this 5 simple technique we reach the root cause, and it is very fast technique, and you are getting to the root cause fairly quickly, and also it is very simple. So just see that how the not sending a newsletter is linked to the reduced the cost of training. It is really fascinating. So what is next? Now you have the root cause, you have to send the proposal, that we have done this 5 why analysis and this is what we are reaching, and uh, we need to increase the budget for the training, otherwise we will make the customers unhappy. Okay, so we have to increase the cost of the training, or we need to impart the training at reduced cost. We have to develop the technique how we can reduce the cost of the technique. So what is the next step then? We increase the cost of the training, we give the training to the new person and see whether in the next occasion the newsletter gets delivered on time. And we should keep a track of this. We should keep a track of this training budget and the training the new developers, and how this is linked to the software updation or software fixing. So there is another problem. As we deal with multiple problems, our concept about the 5 why will be clear. That's why uh, I am trying to make you familiar with as much as problem as I can. Problem 3. Why our customer is unhappy. Okay, this is very common, and okay, let's see how we can deal with this with the 5 why technique. First, why our customer is unhappy? Because we did not deliver our services when we said we would. Okay, we have certain agreement with the customer to deliver certain services. It may be anything. It may be uh, giving some cleaning service, it can be providing some administrative service, it can be anything, any service you can think. And customer, not only customer is the one who buys the product with you, it can be within an organization, in a manufacturing plant, to the maintenance department. The operation department is the customer. Operation department is the customer for the maintenance department. Similarly, the IT department or information technology department is the service provider to the all the maintenance and operation department. So likewise this happens. So this is a very general customer, and the service is also general. It can be any kind of service. So I think it will help you. So why are we unable to meet the agreed upon schedule for delivery? Because the job took much longer than we thought it would. The job we was supposed to deliver to the customer took much larger time than we thought it will take. So why it took longer time? What is the reason behind it? Because we underestimated the work requirement. We did not properly estimate the work requirement. We thought it will be completed in 1 day, but it took 10 days. But why we underestimated the work? Because we did not do proper planning for this job. We did not check how much job is there, what is the volume of the job, and how the job will be executed, what resources are required, whether we have in our facility all the resources available, or we need to hire some external agency, or we need to procure some new things to meet it. So this type of things happens. So why we do not do the planning? Here comes the root cause, because we are short of planners. So this is the root cause of all the problem. Why because you don't have sufficient number of planners. Maybe there were 5 planners in your department and 3 left the company, and you were with only 2 planners, and with the 2 planners you have to manage the whole job, and it is getting very, very difficult. So ultimately you can see that the customer is unhappy is getting related to the shortage of manpower in an organization. So that is the beauty of 5 why analysis. It is quick, simple, and get you to the root cause. We'll check another problem, and the problem is the client refused to pay the progress payment. So I would just request that you follow your own technique and reach to some solution. Try to reach some solution and check whether it matches with me. It does not need to match, but you should uh, be able to ask the why questions and get to some sort of answer. Okay, but why did the client, let's return to the problem statement once again. The client refused to pay the progress payment. Okay, there is some progress, but client refused to pay. But why did the client refuse to pay the progress payment? Because we completed the activity late. Okay, then why we completed the activity late? Because activity took longer than estimated. So why it is estimated longer? Because we could not bring enough material to the activity. Okay, but why we could not bring the enough material? Because we did not purchase on time. But why it was not purchased one time? Because we did not analyze the work schedule. So there is an issue with the work schedule. Work schedule is not proper. So we can go on further. We can go on further, like why did not we analyze the work schedule? And it can be take us to the answer that we do not have sufficient schedulers or like that. So if sometimes your 5 question is not sufficient, we can go 1 or 2 step deeper into it. But be very cautious because it can get you to nowhere also. So this is the problem 4 we have. Hope you have understood it. Now we have already uh, know that what are the steps, don't we? But still, I want to convey you what are the steps. The step 1 is form a team. You need to have a team, because if you, okay, this in this connection I can say that there may be personal problem, like in the first case I have shared with you that you are running through the red light, and that is completely personal problem and you can do it on your own. But if you have a family, you can discuss with your spouse for this particular problem. Might be he might be giving you some idea, because doing alone sometimes can make you biased. So it is always good to form a team. Okay, or for big industries it is obvious that you will form a team, and team should be multidisciplinary in nature. This will help you. Second is define the problem. Defining the problem is very important, because if you define the problem incorrectly, you will never reach to the root cause. Now then ask why, like we have done for the last 4 problems. Ask why 5 times, 3 times, or sometimes maybe 7 times, and after that whatever root cause you got, you need to take action on them, because ultimately this is for we are doing. We want to improve our process, we want to improve our life. That's why we want to solve the problems in our life, in our organization. So if only getting the or only knowing the root cause will not solve the problem, you need to take action on them. Okay, here are some series of caution. I should mention it because if you are new to this, you can end up in wrong root cause, or root cause which will take you to nowhere. So question number 1. The five-why analysis is an effective tool for uncovering the root cause of a problem. Because it is so elementary in nature, it can be adapted quickly and applied to almost any problem. But remember, if it does not prompt an intuitive answer, the other problem-solving techniques may need to be applied. Yes, this is very, very important. If through the five-why analysis you do not get a intuitive answer, you need to try other techniques like fishbone or some cause and effect analysis, FMEA. There are lots of tools. So we need to check that tool. My personal opinion is, if your problem is very simple or I mean not very complicated, and not so many reason can be attached to it, then it is good to use 5Y. Or you can try 5Y to any of your problem, and slowly you will understand that for this kind of problem 5Y is not very good idea. So this comes with experience. Next, don't ask too many whys. If you keep going after 5 why, 6, 7, up to 7 it is okay, but after 7, 8, 9, 10, and you go on, you may end up receiving tons of unreasonable suggestion and complaints, which is not the purpose. Focus is to find on the root cause. Another thing is you should validate. You should validate whatever reason you are getting. You should validate. If you get a reason like there is a shortage of employee, you should validate that, is it really the shortage of employee or the ineffectiveness of the employee. You should know that how much work is there and what is the volume of the work, and how much time does it really require to complete. From this you can have an idea that whether the root cause that you have identified through the 5 why analysis is real or not. This validation technique you can always use. Yes, sometimes there could be more than one root cause. In this case, 5 why analysis will look like a matrix with different branches. So how it will look, see, here you have a why, you have a next why, but answer to this particular why may be 2, maybe x, maybe y. Now you need to ask again why here, and also why here. So answer to this y may be again 2, maybe z, z and w, and again you can ask y to it. So this is the branched y. So in some organization we have seen that this type of why analysis is used. But one thing that will hamper this type of technique is the simpleness of the 5 why technique is gone in this case. So if you see that while you are analyzing the 5 why technique and you are getting so many branches, then in that case you should avoid the 5 why and you should use the other techniques. Some more caution. Sometimes the root cause can be identified in the third and fourth why, and in some cases it cannot be identified even in fifth why. I have told you already this. The response of the team member should focus on the process and system errors. The response should not be affected by team member bias and emotion, otherwise result may be misleading. This is very, very important. The team member should not be biased and should, because if he is biased or emotion, he is always will think in the line of his emotion or in the line of his biasness, and he will obviously get to the wrong conclusion. That's why I have told you that a team is important, because if we are only working for one or two person, it will always get some wrong result, or the probability of getting wrong result is more. So if we have a multidisciplinary team and team with person in different levels, then it will help. Third is, never leave human error, workers inattention, blame John, etc. as the root cause. Okay, despite being a simple and quick technique, 5 why analysis received lots and lots of criticism in the last 10-20 years. There are reasons behind it. First, there is a tendency that investigator to stop at the symptoms rather than going to lower level root cause. Uh, so many experts over the years performed the 5 why analysis, and they have found this type of tendency. Yes, the second point is very important. As I told you that 5 why analysis is very simple and takes hardly more than an hour to complete it, or sometimes it can take only 10 minutes. So in 10 minutes or 1 hour, how much knowledge you can acquire? Very less. So whatever answer that you will get in the 5 why is always the investigator current knowledge, nothing beyond that. Investigator will not analyze the problem deeply. Whatever he has his knowledge, he will share it definitely, but he will not attain further knowledge or try to analyze it deeper. So this technique has this flaw, inability to go beyond the investigator current knowledge. But there is a counter to it, that is, we are forming a team and a multidisciplinary team. So different person have different knowledge. So when they come together, the overall knowledge base is quite high. Third, lack of support to help the investigator provide the right answer to why question. Okay, you may receive the lack of support from the team member or the organization staffs. Results are not repeatable because different people doing the 5 why analysis may come up with different causes at the same time with the same problem. So for this, if this happens, or if this is the situation, it is better to combine the persons in the same team and reach to a final 5 why analysis. Or if there is still differences, you should use another process or another method. Yes, there is a tendency to isolate it to a single root cause, whereas the question could elicit many different root causes. The solution is to have a branched why that I have discussed earlier.